don't have to be a Greek shepherd's wife to make homemade phyllo. So I've got 3 cups of whole wheat flour, a cup of all-purpose, 3/4 of a cup of water, then I'm gonna mix a little salt into a teaspoon. Half a cup of olive oil, a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar, and half a cup of Greek yogurt. This is gonna knead at medium speed for 7 or 8 minutes. The dough has to be really smooth. And I'm gonna just place this now in a bowl with a little bit of olive oil, and I usually roll it. I'm gonna let this rest for about an hour at room temperature, wrapped in plastic, and then I'm gonna get started on my filling. Starting with some sauteed onion. I'm gonna cook down my spinach. It's gonna lose a lot of volume. Overall, for this pie, I'm gonna need about 1.5 to 2 pounds of spinach. I'm just gonna let the spinach cook down. It's only gonna take a few minutes. Squeezing out as much of the moisture in here as I can. We don't want the filling to be too wet because then our phyllo is gonna be soggy. And we don't want it to be so hot that it actually melts the feta that's going into this filling. I'm gonna get my feta cheese in here, and I'm gonna add my herbs, a little bit of parsley, mint, and fresh dill. A little bit of nutmeg goes into this. Extra virgin Greek olive oil. So you can see that the Spanakopita filling is pretty creamy, and that's exactly what we want. I'm about ready to roll out my phyllo dough. This is flour. You can also do it with cornstarch. I'm gonna divide this up so that the knobs are even, and I can roll them out to fit into my round pan. I just wanna shape these into the size balls that I'm gonna use. When we work with commercial phyllo, you always need a lot more layers than you need with this rustic kind of pastry because it's much thinner. I wanna pour some olive oil into my pan. I'm gonna put 2 layers of phyllo dough on the bottom. The easiest way to get this into the pan is to fold it in half and then in half again, and you put the point right in the middle of the pan, and then you just open it up. A little bit of olive oil. You wanna brush gently, try not to make a tear, but you do wanna try to go all the way around. Ready for my second phyllo. A little bit more flour. Now you wanna keep flipping it and changing direction. The reason why I'm doing that is so that the dough circle opens up as evenly as possible. Just want to make sure that it's spread very evenly and pat it down so that the surface is even all over. I'm just going to roll out my next 2 layers, the last 2. A little bit of flour. A little bit more olive oil. So this is a much bigger piece. I'm just gonna layer this on top so that it forms its own sort of decorative surface. And this looks really beautiful when it's baked. The next step is to take the overhang and make a beautiful ring. The next and last step is to score this into serving pieces. You never want to draw the knife down, and then I'm just cutting it the opposite way. So isn't that beautiful? This is gonna bake now for about 45 minutes to an hour at 375. Oh, doesn't that look great? It is so earthy and rich. Great phyllo dough with a lot of great olive oil in it to make it rich but also crispy. The creaminess of the feta cheese, all that beautiful flavor from the spinach, the mint, the dill, the parsley. And I think a really nice white wine called Robola goes really well with this.